The next heading is called The Path of Wildness. As a solo walker myself, I always enjoyed your Japanese walking videos. Thank you, Oliver. The Path of Wildness. As I near 50, I'm becoming increasingly aware that my situation is like a man holding his breath in a sealed container of water, with less than a minute of consciousness remaining. Now is the time to scratch something meaningful on the wall to share what I have seen and learned. And now in italics and kind of left indent, a little bit of a poetic section. I'll come back to this theme over and over. It's just 5 simple lines. The path of wildness is easy to find. The course of a stream, leaves blown in the wind, a beast's track through the brush, and the direction of our first inclination. And if it looks like I'm borrowing from Japanese haiku, yeah, I am. Although I'm not very good with the 5/7, 4/7, whatever the heck, that rhythm base. I am definitely borrowing from the brevity and the punctuation and the sparsity of poets like Basho in Japan. One more time, because this basically is the essence of it all. The path of wildness is easy to find. The course of a stream, leaves blown in the wind, a beast's track through the brush, and the direction of our first inclination. What I'm basically trying to say there is that wild things tend to have the courage to go because they follow their instinct. And nature seems to move along the course of natural impulse. Organic and inorganic. That's why we have the course of a stream. It kind of just follows the course, the natural course down. Leaves blowing in the wind. A beast tracked through the brush. The beast, I used to find those in Japan, those wild boar hollows that would go through those abandoned tea fields, and I could crawl down inside, and the tracks that the wild boars would go through in the brush. They just kind of knew the way. And likewise, you and me, if we follow the direction of our first inclination. Okay, now moving back to the prose. The path of wildness is an answer and response to a prescribed way of life, which may leave some individuals with a sense that their living is little more than a series of predetermined, step-like episodes between birth and death. The stages of living between these events, childhood, adolescence, adulthood, parenthood, and senior, are themselves natural and in accord with the needs of the species and most individuals. Many find satisfaction in living this course, and to these individuals, I have little to say. Others, though, long for something more, something innate, genetic, and seemingly calling. Adventure and change can give a degree of satisfaction and relief, yet these may seem too tame and the results often only temporary. To those who feel drawn to something beyond the entertainment and stimulation of senses, I offer a walk along the path of wildness. Don't bother penciling the event into your schedule, preparing a snack with goodies and supplies, or even inviting a friend along. For this experience is along the course of your first inclination, and you must surely always go alone. So again, back to that idea of the episodes of life, right? And there's a lot of us that are fine with that. And in fact, we want nothing more. And maybe we're even a little intimidated and afraid of anything more. So we simply go along those courses. My message is for those who are interested in otherwise, right? Who are saying, in this long decades, these potential 7 or 8 decades of life, what more can I add to that mix? What other ingredients can I have? And some things such as adventure and change can give a degree of satisfaction for that. But even these can seem a little bit too tame. If some of you were describing your, like Oliver, you said it as a solo walker. You may have discovered that sometimes those adventures alone aren't quite enough. There's something very satisfying to them, but maybe something more. And that's where the path of wildness can come in terms of maybe taking us to a level beyond the more pedestrian pursuits of our life, even the more sanctioned events such as adventure, something further, something deeper. Again, coming back to that theme of the universe not having an inherent purpose for us, and finding the need to create that on our own. That's the goal. Now let me go ahead and see some comments here. Happy birthday to Emily. And Jonathan says, with almost everything, your gut is right a lot of times with people and situations. Yeah, Jonathan, I found that to be the case. Sometimes it ain't. I've had lots of times in Japan that my gut has led me to go right instead of left, or vice versa, and I wind up at the edge of a waterfall, peering over the edge. And some people die as a result of those consequences. But it doesn't mean that that methodology, as you know, is not sound or does not have its purpose, but it needs to be used with caution. It's because there is danger involved. Okay, let's move on down.